With Microsoft having just gotten approval from the EU over the Activision Blizzard merger, they just turned up the heat when it comes to their old friend, the CMA. Find out why. Up next. What up guys, this is Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content, drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Weekend XP Share. So, I think it's pretty safe to say the Activision Blizzard deal is a rather polarizing topic. Many people are saying yes, the deal will go through, and others are saying no. But recently, the EU just approved of this merger shortly after the CMA blocked it, and everyone's wondering, how will Microsoft respond to this? Well, in that official matter, Microsoft is set to appeal this choice, of course, and having just won over the EU, I think they got a little extra firepower in their back pocket. But when talking about how their CEO, Satya Nadella, responded, well, let's just take a look at this tweet here from @IdleSloth84. He was asked by CNBC's Andrew Ross, quote, "Could you ever see an age where you sell Microsoft products in the US if it was approved? Sell the product in Europe, but not sell it in the UK if they did not approve it?" Satya replied, "Let's wait for all to play out." Now, before we jump down this rabbit hole, I just want to say this is mainly just expanding on such few words here, and it's mainly generating a lot of conversation. And more often than not, when it comes to big business, they're really pretty quick to get in front of any wild speculation at this point, and flat out deny such things. And what happened here was not a confirmation of such things happening, which I fully believe pulling the product from the UK is 1000% not in the cards for Microsoft, but more or less, Satya just kind of floated that idea out there. Personally, I think this is more or less a strategic threat being put out there, either to apply some pressure to the CMA or just bluff it. And in the general sense, the UK is a huge market for Microsoft, and pulling that product from there, at least to me, is a very boneheaded move. And that right there opens up the proverbial can of worms, basically saying if Activision products will not be sold there, will Xbox in general be allowed to be sold there? And recently, the CMA has been facing a lot of backlash from consumers, businesses, and even their own government. The CMA was pressed by their own government officials as to why they came to the conclusion that they did. As I highlighted before in prior videos talking about this very topic, the UK wants to become, quote, the next Silicon Valley, post-Brexit, and of course we all know how Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick responded to that. And during some weird legal talk during all this questioning, it was suggested as if the CMA colluded with the FTC, since the FTC has rules in place where they can't legally block it in the same way the CMA did. Another higher up in the UK government released a statement that read, quote, "One of the reasons that companies like Microsoft invest in the UK is because we have independent regulators. I would not want to undermine that at all. But I do think it's important for all of our regulators to understand their wider responsibilities for economic growth." And that lines up with what the Prime Minister said last week, saying the CMA needed, quote, "strategic steering." I think both of those quotes more or less give the vibes of, while some of this stuff in this deal without a doubt operate in these moral gray areas of sorts, this deal overall will benefit a lot of things around it. Now, at the end of these videos, I always ask you guys, is this deal going through? Yes or no? But I think now more than ever, there is no definitive answer to that. And as of last Friday, China's State Administration for Market is now the newest regulator to approve of this buyout, but they did this unconditionally. So we got yet another regulator on board. And as seen in this tweet from @IdleSloth88, the only regulators left to weigh in on this deal are now Korea, South Africa, Turkey, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and of course the US. And now Microsoft has yet another notch in their belt to help aid in their case. As of May 18th, Xbox announced yet another deal that is only going to bolster their appeal to the CMA. As seen on their website, Microsoft said, quote, "We're thrilled to share starting today, NVIDIA GeForce Now Cloud Gaming members in the UK, the US, European Union, and around the world can stream Gears 5. And on May 25th, we'll be able to enjoy fan favorites like Deathloop, Grounded, and Pentiment. This is just the beginning stage of our forward-thinking 10-year partnership with NVIDIA. to make PC games from Xbox Game Studios and Bethesda available to GeForce Now members. And that deal alone gives Microsoft tangible proof that they're willing to work with cloud streaming services. And again, that backs the point. They are yet again trying their best to get their games in front of as many people as they possibly can. And it's pretty hard to make the argument now that Microsoft is seemingly anti-consumer or anti-competition after deals like this are made. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this question off to you guys. Do you really see Microsoft pulling their products from the UK? I personally don't. I hope it doesn't come to that. I think that was more or less a bluff. But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content, drop a like on the video, and this has been the Weekend XP Share.